This is Corey Drinkett. We are going over quality assurance. This is chapter 18. Sterile processing technicians play a crucial role in patient safety and the overall success of healthcare facilities. Healthcare customers demand the best quality, and the SP teams must consistently meet these expectations. Quality assurance in SP services not only affects internal staff, but also directly influences patient outcomes. So we don't really see the outcome of what we do. We don't see when a patient comes in through the ER with a gunshot wound, they're taken up to the OR, they're having an operation. We don't get to see that outcome. We don't get to see whether the patient survived or not. We don't get to see how the patient is doing afterwards. But we do affect their quality of health. So we got to keep that in mind too. We also have to remember too that we affect our customers, and our customers are any people or any department that is not within our own department. So the responsibilities go beyond hospitals, extending to surgery centers, the clinics, and sometimes even the third-party processors. The growing threat of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, the complexity of these devices that we are processing, the heightened public scrutiny make quality more important and more challenging than ever. This is very important. Our job, we go beyond just hospitals. We can work in surgery centers or dental clinics, any type of clinic or any place that has sterile instruments we can work in. So it's extended into that too. And with the threat of antibiotic resistance and all that, I have seen, I've even heard hospitals being shut down and re-evaluated because sterile processes not doing their job according to standards. They're infecting patients. They're infecting people's lives with not the best quality of care that they are processing these instruments with. We must maintain vigilant and committed to delivering safe, high quality products every time. Remember, we're here for the patient. We don't know who these instruments, these devices are being used on. It could be your family member. It could be anyone's family member. So we got to keep that in mind. Quality serves as is defined by how customers perceive the products and services provided. It's not static. Departments must continually monitor and enhance their processes to meet and exceed quality expectations. Remember, our quality is only as good as the last one we put out. If our quality is not good, it's going to be known not just to that customer, but throughout the rest of the facility. And we don't want that. By adapting the customer's point of view, we can better evaluate our workflow and identify areas needing improvement. So this is what this chapter is going to talk about. How can we improve the process that we already have in place? Most of the time, we can improve quite a lot, and it don't have to be something huge. It can be something very simple in that improvement process. So education is vital in supporting quality. Achieving excellence also requires collective effort across the entire healthcare team. Measuring against best practices ensures a reliable benchmark. Technicians can actively apply their knowledge to drive process improvements and increase operational efficiency. Remember, just because you work in this field, your work, the work that you do, you also have a say in how that work goes, because you are working in it. So don't be afraid to say something. Empowerment is a key element in a quality program because it allows employees to make decisions and implement changes within their specific areas of responsibility. This approach pushes decision making closer to where the work is performed, increasing efficiency and responsiveness. Employers must first be properly trained and fully competent in their assigned task. When you're doing this job, our job is very crucial. If you're not sure on what you're doing or what is asked of you, ask questions, ask for help. Because if you're not doing it right, you can potentially harm not just you, but that patient that's receiving that treatment. If you're not comfortable doing that job or that request, say so. Managers will play a vital role in forecasting empowerment by educating staff about their responsibilities and encourage them to share ideas for improvement. It's crucial to emphasize that empowered decisions must always align with established standards and best practices, never sacrificing quality or safety for convenience. Failure mode and effects analysis. This is a proactive approach to enhance quality and patient safety. This method systematically examines a process to identify where and how it might fail, assesses the relative impact of different failure modes. Instead of waiting for errors to happen, FMEA, or the failure mode and effects analysis, emphasizes prevention by anticipating potential problems and addressing them before they occur. So if you think you're in your department and you can probably see something not working right, say something. This is part of that the failure mode and effective analysis. You're stopping something before it occurs. This process involves assigning scores to each failed based on 3 criteria. The severity of the failure's consequences. How bad is it going to affect us? The likelihood that it will occur. Will it occur again, or is this a one-time thing? Most likely it will occur again. And the probability of detecting it before it causes harm. These scores are used to calculate a risk priority number, helping staff focus on the most crucial issues first. In our department, this analyze is crucial for maintaining the safety and reliability of reprocessing workflows, especially for high-risk instruments and procedures. The root cause analysis, or the RCA, is a systematic process used to identify the underlying causes of problems or adverse events in sterile processing. Instead of only addressing the immediate symptoms, RCA digs deeper to find the fundamental reasons why a problem occurred. Within our department, this helps improve patient safety and quality by preventing reoccurrence of errors related to instrument processing, sterilization failures, or contamination risk. So this process involves several steps. So they identify the problem. So they define the issue or the event that needs to be investigated. What happened? Then they collect data the data on that incident. So they gather relevant information and evidence surrounding the event. They also identify possible causal factors. So by determining all contributing factors that might have led to the problem. And then they identify the root cause or the causes. They use tools like the 5 whys or fishbone diagrams to drill down to the core cause. And then they develop and implement the corrective actions. So they plan measures to fix the root cause and prevent failure incidents. And then they monitor the effectiveness. So they ensure that the corrective actions are working and adjust it as necessary. By conducting the RCA, SPD teams can reduce errors, improve compliance with standards, enhance instrument quality, and ultimately protect patient outcomes. Common issues RCA may address include sterilization failures, incorrect instruments assembly, breaches in the aseptic technique, or documentation errors. All that is a failure on our department. So we've got to figure out what's causing it, and hopefully we can correct it so it doesn't happen over and over and over again. So we're going to focus on some of the organizations that shape and enforce quality and safety standards in the sterile processing field. The first one, we talked about this clear back in chapter 6, I believe. We talked about the Joint Commission. So they lead the accreditation body that evaluates healthcare facilities based on national performance standards. Remember, the Joint Commission can come in at any time, announced and unannounced. They stay for about 5 days. And they come in and they evaluate everything. They dig. And they could actually potentially shut a place down. So they are the #1 ranking the organization or the agency that we need to actually satisfy. AMI, or Association for the Advancement of Medical Instrumentation, it provides the technical guidelines used for the sterilization processes, the equipment maintenance, and infection prevention. Remember, AMI is our Bible. It's what we go to if we're not sure on a practice in our department. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or CMS, they ensure that facilities meet regulatory requirements to receive federal funding. Most of your facilities need that federal funding from Medicare and Medicaid to stay alive. That's where they get most of their money from. OSHA, remember OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, they are for the workers. So they are they safeguard employees, particularly in areas dealing with biohazards and ergonomics. These organizations, they help SPD professionals ensure their work supports optimal patient outcome. Adherence to these standards leads to reduced errors, improved compliance, and overall operational excellence in the department. Quality-centered organizations and their standards are not just about meeting rules. They are essential for building a culture for safety and excellence in the healthcare place. The foundation of sterile processing quality starts in the decontamination areas. If instruments are not properly cleaned, sterilization cannot be effective. So this poses a major risk for infection. So no matter what type of sterilization process we are using, whether it's steam, STERRAD, or the V-probe, or an HLD, if the device is not cleaned properly, we cannot guarantee the sterility of it, and the sterility is not going to be achieved properly. So mistakes made here can compromise the entire instrument pre-processing cycle. To maintain quality, we must adhere to strict written policies and procedures. Equipment used for cleaning and disinfection must be in good working order and regularly tested. We test our facilities test their equipment every day. It's equally important that people that do the work must be trained, competent, and accountable to high standards. Education and evaluation ensure that performance remains consistent and effective. Quality assurance in the decontamination area requires ongoing monitoring and documentation of processes to identify any issues and maintain compliance with these standards. Now, on the assembly side, or the preparation and packaging side, it's essential to ensure that surgical instruments are safe and ready for use. So this phase involves more than just placing instruments into trays, putting them into pill packs, or wrapping them. So it goes beyond that. It requires a meticulous attention to detail. Each item must be visually cleaned, so we must check every item to make sure there is no bioburden left on that instrument. We also have to make sure that every item is functional the way it is intended to be used. And in that functionality, we also have to make sure that those that cut anything has to be sharp. That's part of the function of it. And we have to make sure it's properly assembled according to the manufacturer's instructions for use and the facility policies. So we use checklists and count sheets that support the accuracy of what we are doing. So this will reduce the human error. This will ensure that the instrument sets are complete. Technicians must inspect instruments for cleanliness, damage, and proper functioning. Testing devices like insulated instrument testers, used for your laparoscopic instrumentation, any magnification tools, whether it is a handheld magnifying lens, or we're using the lighted magnifying device that's attached to the workstation, or if we're using the borescope, we got to make sure we are using those correctly. And this helps us to identify if they are clean or not. Packaging must protect instruments from contamination during handling, storage, and the sterilization process. So the proper wrapping techniques and closure integrity must be verified before the item leaves the area. A final quality check is performed to catch errors before the items move to the sterilization area, ensuring patient safety and compliance with these standards. Now, for the sterilization area of our department, maintaining high quality standards is vital because it directly impacts patient safety. Technicians must ensure that all items are properly prepared, loaded into the sterilizer correctly, and that the correct cycle is selected based on the device and packaging, the packaging type. Monitoring the sterilization effectiveness is done using three key indicators. We've talked about this before: the physical, the chemical, and the biological. We've got to check these, all of them, at all times throughout the sterilization phase. Each of them plays a major role in verifying that the process is successful and that the sterility has been achieved. We can only guarantee that these devices, these instruments, these sets have met that has gone through the sterilization phase. That's all that we are verifying. So regular maintenance of the sterilization equipment is essential to prevent failures. Staff should be trained to follow strict procedures, including the policies, the protocols, and manufacturer's IFUs. This is to ensure the continuation of the quality. Facilities should conduct regular audits, track quality indicators, and require ongoing competency assessments for all personnel involved in sterilization. You will have a competency on the sterilization area. We got to make sure you understand all aspects of this. This is one of the major parts of our department. Maintaining quality within the storage and distribution area is essential to protect the sterility of processed items and ensure safe patient care. So the environment must be tightly controlled. We can't just have anyone walking in and out. We've got to make sure that we monitor the temperature and humidity. Back in the day, we used to do it all by hand. We'd go throughout all areas of the department, put down the date, the time, the temperature, and humidity on all shifts. These days, facilities, all of our facilities is monitored through Biomed or the facilities itself. So we don't really have to do it ourselves. Cleanliness must be maintained to reduce contamination risk. This is where we have to clean these shelves regularly. Inventory rotation is crucial. I said this before. You should rotate your instrumentation, first in, first out. So this ensures that older items are being used and the newer before the newer ones. So this helps reduce waste due to expiration. You keep pushing the old item back and not using the old item and keep using the new item, eventually that new item is going to, quote, expire because the tape has turned back to its original color. You won't see those black lines. The tape will become brittle. Dust will collect on it. If dust starts collecting on it, it's not safe. So we've got to reprocess it. We can't have dust going up into the OR, even if it's on a container system. We can't have dust on that container system. So we have to have regular inspections to help detect any compromise in packaging integrity or sterility. If damage or contamination is found, the items should be removed and reprocessed. Accurate documentation and careful order picking reduce errors, ensure that the correct supplies are sent to the right departments. Finally, items should be transported in a timely and secure manner to maintain sterility and meet clinical needs efficiently. There's some facilities out there that make rounds throughout the hospital. They pick up dirty instrumentation from the clinical sites within the hospital, bring them to into our department. We clean them, we process them, we sterilize them, then we'll take them back. but we got to get them back to them in a timely manner. They only have a select amount of instrumentation. In the sterile processing or the distribution area, maintaining quality is essential to ensure sterile items remain safe and ready for use. First in and first out, this practice ensures that older items are used before newer ones to prevent expiration and waste. Sterile packages must be routinely inspected for integrity. So we are checking these packages for anything that's damaged, moist, if there's moisture, if the broken seals. This all can compromise the sterility of the package. Maintaining timely and accurate restocking is also crucial. It helps avoid delays during procedures, which can impact patient care. All items should be properly labeled and documented to prevent errors and ensure traceability. Cleanliness and organization in the storage area minimizes the risk of contamination and make it easier to locate supplies quickly and accurately. If you're in the distribution, the sterile storage portion of it, it is essential that if you get items coming back from the OR that need to be put back onto the shelf, put it back in the correct place. Don't just throw it onto an empty space. Put it back where it belongs so that we can find it if we need it. That's one of the reasons why things come up missing. People don't put things back where they belong. So quality in this area directly supports the overall efficiency and safety of patient care delivery. Quality management in the SPD department involves a structured system to ensure services meet established standards and customer expectations. Quality management is customer focused. So we are worried about what the customer is saying to us. If we're getting bad feedback from the customers, we need to make sure we correct that, because we don't want them to be mad at us for us doing a bad job. Strong leadership and the active participation of staff at all levels help drive a culture of quality. A process-centered approach ensures that all steps in the workflow are consistent, efficient, and clearly defined. Continuous quality improvement, or CQI, plays a major role in promoting ongoing evaluation and enhancement of processes. Decisions are based on accurate data, including performance matrix and incident tracking. Management can track everything that you do in the department. They can track how many trays that you accomplish throughout your work day or your shift. If you're in decon, they can track how many trays you're scanning into the washers. So just be mindful of that. Open communication and consistent training keeps staff aligned with departmental goals and standards. Thorough documentation and records support accountability, traceability, and compliance with regulatory requirements. These combined elements ensure that sterile processing functions safely and effectively within the healthcare system. So the conclusion in the quality emphasis that quality management is in sterile processing is not a one-time task or the responsibility of just one department. It's a comprehensive, ongoing commitment that involves everyone From the technicians who clean and prepare instruments to the supervisors, managers, and the leadership teams. Just remember, as sterile processing, we work as a team. Doesn't matter what your role is within that department. We are still a team, and we must function as a team. The foundation of effective quality assurance includes proper communication, continuous training, continuous education, attention to detail. You've got to pay attention to what you're doing, and make sure you are accountable for your own actions. Data collection and analysis helps identify areas for improvement, ensuring that standards are met and exceeded. Ultimately, maintaining high quality practices supports patient safety, ensures compliance with regulations, and builds trust with surgical and clinical teams who rely on our processes every day. Go over these objectives. Remember, they're just what you get out of the chapter yourself. No right or wrong answer. In your workbook, your practice exercises is on page 80. Your review quiz is on page 81. Remember to put down your score of your quiz into ThinkWave so I can check it out. And again, my name is Corey Drinkett. My phone number is listed. You can text me or call me. I advise you that if you text me, please put down your name first, because if you don't, I'm not going to respond. And then I will add you to my phone, so that the next time you text or call, I know who I'm talking to. This is my email address. It's Corey.Drinkett. It should be all lowercase. I made the mistake there. But it's Corey.Drinkett@FranciscanAlliance.org. Email me if you have any questions, please. And I thank you for your time in reviewing chapter 5 with me. And have a good night. Thank you. Bye.